All right, y'all. Welcome to the Bristol walkthrough. I'm going to be doing it with the Bristol Roller Rink 1.34. I'm going to be showcasing a few laps from the 50 lap run I just did with the setup. A few things to note about this setup is it is a hair tight, but on exit it can get a little loose depending on when you pick up the throttle. We will show that in the few laps right here at the beginning of this run. Um, but yeah, we're gonna walk right in through it. In walk right through it and get into this. Not going to be too terribly long because Bristol's not a super hard track, especially with this update. Seems like it's very much keep it all the way to the bottom as much as you can. Don't get off the bottom. Seems like late in the run you could go up to the wall, but I don't see it viable. I like running the bottom right here. And the whole 50 laps I stayed right on the yellow line. So, but yeah, first few laps, going to be in. Get about 3/4 of the way down the straightaway before you lift and get into the brake. Right there, boom, brake. You can see this is going to bottom out early on because the tire pressures are so low. It usually goes away after about 15-ish laps, depending on how you pick up the throttle. Let's showcase the throttle right here. Notice how on the exit, I'm not picking up the throttle until I'm all the way on the straightaway. Right there. And I'm holding the brake for a pretty decent amount of time, and I'm picking up the throttle soon, but I'm not going all the way into the throttle because this car, with how the rear end is set up here, it is the rear's a lot higher, the track's a lot bumpier, the car takes a lot more load, so we have to have the rear higher, and we don't actually have the optimum rake angle we really want. If there are people out there getting a better rake angle, by all means, good for them. I don't know how they're getting it. But this car is I have been fast at Bristol for quite a while. So I feel pretty confident in this setup. Setup falls off about 8/10 over 50 laps, but that seems to be about every substance. It seems like every setup gets to a certain lap time and it just holds there. It's more about how well can you fire off. No matter how tight or loose you are. If you're loose, it doesn't seem like it really likes it. It likes that kind of a balanced tire. But you can see this whole time early on, just been right around the bottom. Go down here. Just pick the last 4 laps or so. You can see still right around the bottom. I'm diving it in just a touch deeper, but the car still wraps right around the bottom. And I'm doing see right here. That's what I'm talking about. You gotta be careful how you're picking up the throttle because it can get loose on you right on the exit. That car starts to get off the banking because it still rotates well and it gets tight right in the center, but it's rotating well and it just kind of gives you this false feeling of like, oh, I need to turn the wheel just a little bit more. But you don't have to. You can just wait on that throttle just a little bit, and you'll be fine. You ain't gonna have to worry about it. See, I'm just getting a little antsy. Just trying to see how much more I can get out of it before we hit the 15.3s. We're gonna go back up here to the beginning. First few laps. Show a TV view, just that way you can see. One thing to note about this setup particularly is, and any of the setups, if you run any of them that I have, when it comes to Bristol, don't turn the wheel more than you have to. If the car goes in, lands, and when it slides up the track, keep it there in that lane. Don't try and dive it back down to the bottom lane again or try and dive in the corner. Keep it consistent. Whatever the car does, just let it do it. This is not a driver-friendly car. It seems like at these short tracks, or really any track, it seems like right now. Um, I took about a 10-week off from building, so coming back, it seems like these cars really just kind of do what they do best and let them do it. Doesn't seem like they're very as much. Tires don't seem as driver friendly um, as they used to. So just whatever the tires and the car does, let it do its thing. Um, but that's pretty much a Bristol walkthrough. Not much to it. So yeah, if you got any questions, leave them down below. And like I said, hope this helps.